Hey, this is Dylan with New Motion. Thank you so much for joining and listening to the Ally podcast. And today we have our segment Wheelin with Dylan. And I'm super excited to have on our guest today, Alejandro, here in Miami. Thank you so much for letting me come over here and talk with you today. How you doing?
Good, good. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to do this.
Absolutely. You're the second I met you, I knew you'd be perfect for this kind of thing. Just talking with one another and some of your background and everything, which we'll get into. I'm sure that everybody in the Ally program and community is going to appreciate your perspective and find out kind of what you're doing and stuff.
Definitely. Let's dive into it.
Awesome. Let's do it. So, if you don't mind, just kind of giving us your background a little bit. Everyone, I'm sure when they see me, when they see you, sometimes what happened, stuff like that. So, If you don't mind, just letting us know maybe how long you've been hurt and kind of went on, and that's the beginning of the journey, because I want to get to what we're doing right now. But
yeah, Dylan, I was 2017, June 26, 6 p.m. I was in a motorcycle. My cousin had lended me his motorcycle. I went to get some cigarettes and put gas in his bike. Typical 2017 thing for my life. And I got out. I left the shopping center of the tattoo area. I didn't stop at the gas station. I just kept going because I wanted to give a ride to the bike. And then coming back on the way, I was doing 80 miles an hour on 7th Street, 35 miles an hour zone limit. And some guy was in front of me, and he stopped to let someone pass. And I switched lanes, and the lady didn't see me, so the edge of the car just knocked me out, flew over. I don't know how many feet. I'm just here. That's all I know.
Yeah, well, you're here and you're thriving, man. You're doing great. So, of course, we're always sorry that stuff happens, but it definitely opens a lot of new doors and avenues and stuff like that, as I'm sure you can be a testimony to. So if you don't mind fast forwarding a little bit, so you got hurt. It's unfortunate. A lot of people who are listening to this, we've experienced some kind of trauma or something, in our life to kind of get us there. But I know you started really quick getting involved in the community and doing some different things. But at first, did you just go to was it Jackson Rehab?
Yep, okay. Jackson Rehab, outpatient rehab, and then I heard there about the Miami project. So I was super stoked to participate in it, to be a part of it. I got introduced by, I will never forget, Danielle. She used to work actually in the position that I work now.
Oh.
Great woman. She taught me everything that I needed to know about the studies, anything that I needed to do to participate in the studies, the registration. She helped me with the registration. It was from A to Z. She helped me through. She was the greatest. And her sister, after that, she was the one helping me with a study that we were doing that it had involved mobility and stuff like that. Super great. Dina, it's her name. She's great people. They're two sisters, and they're great. They're wonderful.
That's awesome. And do you mind taking a step back for a second for those who aren't aware of it? Because I was even just recently found out more about it. Do you mind explaining to us what the Miami Project is and kind of your role in it as well?
Yeah. The Miami Project is a research facility with the University of Miami, and they're based on trying to find the cure to paralysis. In the meantime, they're researching every range of a spinal cord injury, day-to-day activity, and how to not only to find the cure, but to also, in the meantime, live better with it. So we have pain studies, we have fertility studies, we have stimulation studies, we have movement studies, we have cell studies, we have any study that you can think of as of motion and stimulation. They have it. I love it. It's with Dr. Matia's lab. Really cool lab. And my role is to get as much people as I can aware of this, trying to get an outreach for them and trying to bring them in, trying to guide them. The same thing that Danielle did with me, I just do with someone else. So it was kind of like a baton passed down, Well, not really, but it was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool experience once I was told that if I was interested in working with the Miami Project, I don't think I was able to sleep for about a month. I was just eager to get the job. I was calling every day. I was like, hey, so did I get the job? Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's awesome. That's great. And you know what? that's something that I've been kind of introduced to, and the fact that, first of all, I didn't really know much about a spinal cord injury before I got hurt. That's just the truth. Like, I think I maybe had heard about it, or, seen it, or whatever.
I don't think anybody does.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like you don't know till you know.
Yeah, until
I
you
guess.
know.
And then once you're in it, you realize that even like a lot of these doctors don't really know.
Right.
So like my primary care doctor that I have, like a lot of the times, like I did have and stuff, nice guy, great guy, very smart. Did not know much of anything about spinal cord injuries. And that is just common in general. Like a lot of people aren't super aware of it. And it is something there's a lot of unknown about it. How complicated is nerves? Or like our like everything that has to do with nerves, we truly don't understand everything.
The regeneration of cells itself, it's just, it's mind-blowing. I think it's, especially for someone who just gets injured, because once you get injured, there's all these doctors trying to like pump information about what's going on, and you're like, whoa, hold on, I have medication on me, like I can't even process what you're saying right now. I need this written in paper so I could then go and read it. It's a lot to take in at the beginning, and I like what you said that the doctors don't know. I think who knows the best what's going on is you, because it's your body. If you pay attention to it and you learn how to listen to it, you're going to know what's going on with your body.
That's a great point. And I know one thing that my mom pushed me hard to do when I first got hurt was like advocate for yourself. And I've never been the type to really do that when it comes to like health stuff, because like I got hurt. I know you were 21. I think I was 19. Yeah. I wasn't thinking about my health. Like my health was fine. Yeah. What do you mean advocate about my health? Like I don't know. And then you do assume, oh no, this guy who went to school for 7 years is gonna know better than me. Which hey, they know a lot. But it's true. At the end of the day, no one knows your body better than you, because you kind of have to adjust, and you're living with it every day and stuff like that.
I think they know. I think they know which door to guide you to, but you just have to be the one willing to open it and go through everything itself. I remember when I left the hospital, I told my mom I'm not taking any more pills. My mom's like, you're insane. You're gonna go through so much pain. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I'm not gonna. So there was nights that I would wake up like biting my fingers because it hurts in my back, or the spasms were hurt my muscles in the back, or the brand new surgery. I couldn't sit in a chair for more than 5 minutes. Oof. I had to be laying down the whole day. Man. Yeah, man.
That's tough.
Yeah, it was tough.
That's tough, yeah. And how long did that last? Like the first couple months there, or?
So the first doctor told me, if you ever want to have a chance at walking again, get off from the bed. And I was like, oh, okay. So I started sitting in the bed 5 minutes, then I'll lay down, then I'll wait 5 minutes, and then I'll sit down for 20 minutes, until I started sitting for 8 hours straight. And I was like, okay, I'm never going back to bed.
There we go. Good, yeah.
Sorry.
So you're very independent.
Yep. Great
quality of life, stuff like that. And that's something that we love to talk about here in the Ally program, is how people found their independence. Everyone does it in their own way and their own time frame. Do you remember when you really started just getting, maybe it was from the get-go, everyone's different, but when you were motivated, like, hey, it's time to live life again?
Yeah, I never stopped thinking about not living life. Good. I never stopped and said, okay, I can't do this. Nah, I never. I think, is it necessity? Yeah, necessity is the mother of all inventions, and some people need to be bored in a room to actually figure out what it is you need to go out there and do. And it's not like sit there and think about what you're going through or be sad about it, but acknowledge that, okay, I'm here. There's nothing I could do about it. The best thing I could do about it is have patience and work through it. And if everybody in my family supported me and was there for me, how selfish would it be of me to just lay in a corner and not want to get up? They sacrifice hours of their jobs. They sacrificed sometimes even their own money, to make your meats and stuff. Like, how am I going to be selfish and be like, I'll live like this my whole life? Nah. Yeah. I started driving a year after I got injured. Okay. And then 2 years after, I started going to school.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, that's good. So what do you go to school for?
Right now, I stopped, but right now I'm going back. I actually have an appointment tomorrow. I have to go back to a VR, so I'm studying psychology, clinical psychology.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. So I know vocational rehab is a great resource. They helped me with my schooling as well when I had first got hurt. That was like one of the first things I did after PT was like, all right, I got to get back to school.
I got to get back to school.
Yeah, and for those who aren't aware, vocational rehab does help you kind of, I guess, get employed and kind of get back on your feet in a way. It's funny to say, but not to the extent that we maybe want them to. But yeah, you know, schooling, and I mean, they paid for my hand controls for my car and everything like that too.
Yeah, they're paying for my brand new wheelchair. Well, hopefully, but I'm pretty sure I'll get accepted. I mean, I hope so.
Qualify.
Yeah, I think I should.
Cool, awesome. So, and you started working with Miami Project about how long after you got hurt again? Do you remember?
Like 6 years maybe.
Oh wow. Okay.
6 years? Yeah, I've been working there for 2 years now.
Okay, awesome.
So 6 years.
So you found yourself there eventually, and what do you like about, you know, your job, what you do? Because I mean, you call it a job, but you said, you know, you were stoked for like a month, so it's obviously more than just like I got to clock into a 9 and 5.
Yeah. No.
What about it do you like and you appreciate?
The people. I like to consider myself an individual who can communicate and get to people in a very different way than many others I've seen can do. I'm not saying that it's anything special about me. It's just that I've always, since I was a little kid, it was always easy for me to talk to people. It was never like I could have an uncomfortable conversation with anybody, and I'll be asking the uncomfortable stuff. Like, I have no issues with that. That's one thing I like about it. I love working with the people. Surprisingly enough, science it's pretty cool, man. I was never into it. I was always into more reading, lecture, history. But science is pretty cool, and the way that they expose it, the way that they express, the way that they see the science, to me is mind-blowing. It's dude, they can break down the most minimum things to be more smaller and smaller pieces. You're like, oh, I love this. I like the people I work with. My team is great. Education and coordination part of the program, it's awesome. It's awesome. The people there you work with, the things you learn, the people you see, the potential of people that you see. You meet people that are on their lowest, and I love that. And it's not because I want to feel proud of that, or I want anybody to like glorify that. No, but I really like when I talk to someone that just got injured, and then they come back to me and like, dude, you helped me so much, bro. Like you helped me see that, and I'm like, dude, I'm glad. I hope you can move forward and become greater than anybody. I have people come in. You know, they get injured, I go see them, and then they're in the wheelchair. But then a year passes, and I see him walk again. He comes into my office walking, and he's like, oh, I didn't want to come because, you know, I'm walking. And I was like, dude, you're insane. That gives me hope. I gave you hope at the beginning. Now you're giving me hope. So, no, by all means. I think I clap for everyone until it's my turn to be clapped for.
Yeah, no. That's sick. Awesome. Well, I'm happy to hear that. And so when someone gets hurt, and typically they're being... Jackson or like Lynn Rehab, I guess you guys would really call it. They could be a week or two in of just suffering a spinal cord injury. Probably like they can be pretty fresh at first.
Yeah, a week, 2 weeks. I've seen people days.
Man, yeah. So what? You probably meet so many different types of personalities. How is it like? How do you address that? You know, you've been hurt for what you said. I'm sorry, 8 years. 8 years. So you got some experience on you. I've got some. Like when I tell people I've been hurt for 6 years, I always kind of like stutter. I'm like, ain't no way. It's been 6 years.
I know.
But time flies like that. Now we're the veterans out of nowhere, right? It's like now we're supposed to know what we're doing.
No,
even though I still don't. But
I'm still questioning things.
I'm still questioning stuff. But now you come in like, hey. You know, this is your perspective. You've been dealing with this for a while. These people are still trying to process everything. Like, they don't even know what's going on, I'm sure. Right. But how do you kind of, like, address that and to kind of get, like, a conversation going with people?
It's about attitude. Definitely about attitude. A lot of people are scared to open up to people who are not in a wheelchair. And I tell that to the nurses, at least the ones that I know. I tell them that a lot of times. It's like, you can go in there and you can ask them any question that you want, any uncomfortable personal. Easiest question, and I'll go in there and I'll ask them a very uncomfortable question, and they're gonna answer me because they can't say to me, "You won't understand." It's like, no, I understand. I've read it. I've studied it. I've acknowledged it. I know where I am. Like, but how do I deal with different personalities? Everybody is going through it different. Everybody has different perceptions, and only learning from that person will help me learn will help me help the next person.
Right.
You know, so I've met people who are just, I go in and I'm like, hey, Miami Project, I'm here to speak to, you know, about some research. Get out of my room. Okay, I'll come back tomorrow. And I come back tomorrow, you know, and get out of my room. And then the third day, it's like, okay, you can come in. All right, you're not going to stop coming, so you just might as well just come in. Then there's other people that are just smiling the moment you come in the room, and you're like, whoa, okay. That takes a lot. I mean, I remember me when I was there. I never cried. I had my mom, my sister, my grandma. I had a lot of female figures in my room. So I was like, no, there's no breaking down here. Like, I mean, and when people see or listen to us, they're like, oh, these people they don't have a sad day. Oh, I've had my sad nights. It's just those are mine. You know, that's for me to acknowledge. You got to learn about yourself in those moments. Yeah. And I think the best way to learn about yourself is doing just that. Yeah. You know, I also went through a meditation process. Okay. For a whole year. It was just that.
Can you tell us about that a little bit?
It was life-changing. I think it's what showed me who I really was. I went to this Temple Isha Center of Science Institution in Tennessee. I think it's Chattanooga, but I'm not sure. Chattanooga, sorry. Yeah. It was a place where it just teaches you to sit down and, you know, breathe in and be aware of that you're breathing in and breathing out and counting. Or some of them are counting. They're called mantras or ishas as well. Super interesting things. I felt there was this little program called Inner Engineering, and then it teaches you kind of like to go inside within yourself. It took me about a whole year for that, and I felt for the first time in that very long time, I saw myself, actually seeing myself like standing right in front of me. And I felt standing. I felt the pressure in my legs standing. It was the most wildest experience I've ever had. I was crying, but it wasn't like crying of sadness or anything. It's just the ecstasy that I felt because of that moment. I was like, whoa, what? This is insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It took me in deep into a realm of my thoughts and my mind that I've never unlocked. Yeah.
That's cool. Well, it's good that you take time to, you know, try to learn yourself also, just be in tune with your body, I guess. And it's a whole new perspective that we are in now that we probably never expected to be in the past, but you do a good job at, like you said, gotta adjust, gotta adapt, gotta move on. Yeah, absolutely, you know, we'll have our weak moments that a lot of us will probably just keep to ourselves, because I know I felt this extra pressure to kind of be strong for my family, I guess, because you could kind of see everyone kind of breaking down around you, and you're like, well, I'm not going to add to this, because if I break down, everybody's going to break down. Right? Yeah. You kind of got to be like the strong force. Yeah. But it's good to also take care of yourself at the same time and make sure you're dealing with things as well, not just high them and all that good stuff.
I say that I'm very disciplined with myself. I'm very strict with me, but I'm very flexible with others. Right. You know, I'm super strict with I don't allow myself. I mean, I slip, definitely. I'm not perfect. I'm not gonna say I do everything at 100%. I don't. I really don't. But if I enjoy it, best believe I'll give 1,000% of it, because it's something that I like. And when I talk to someone one-on-one, I've had people cry. I've had today actually I got a call from a participant. I gave her some tips to how to help, you know, the person. She's her husband, and she wants to. Crazy enough, I think people see my face and they think I'm hungry, because everybody invites me out to eat dinner. They're like, oh, I'm going to invite you to dinner, you know, I'm going to take you here. And I was like, oh, okay, all right, yeah, no, it's perfectly fine. You know, things like that, man. Like, I don't do it for that. I do it for the fact that, okay, yeah, I showed you a different way, like, and it worked. You know, I will advocate for that, if you want me to say. I say, whatever works for you, that's what you say to people.
Exactly.
What doesn't work, doesn't work. You tried it, it didn't work, bummer. But you have other things that work, and that's what I try to teach people, man. It's I think, yeah, the body is very important to move, but if you want to fly, you got to think with your mind. Yeah. You got to move with your mind.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. It's It takes, well, I don't know. I've heard from someone very close to me. It says it takes guts and to be where we are and like do what we do. You know, keep moving forward. And I'm like, oh, human beings are about evolution, not devolution. If I'm not moving forward, I'm moving backwards, and I'm not a crab.
Yeah, so, it's true.
Yeah.
We don't think. I think you're probably like me, where you don't really think about it often until you have to sit down and like actually like talk about it. But I don't think much of anything. Like I'm going about my day. Like this is just life now, whatever. But it's like funny. Sometimes you gotta get reminded, like, oh yeah, no, I take some guts to be doing what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
I remember one time my brother, who I think he like went in my like wheelchair and was like rolling around like Bass Pro Shops, just kind of like for fun. But he told me, he's like, dude, people were like looking at me like different.
Yeah.
And he's like, it was pissing me off.
Yeah.
And like he was like almost like got in a fight. Like he was like, dude, why are you looking at me? Like it was really annoying him. And it's so funny because like, yeah, sometimes I'm like, that guy's kind of looking at me a little too hard. But like for the most part, you just kind of move on about your day. We're used to like that kind of stuff now. But you know, it does take a certain degree of guts, I guess. But anybody who's watching, they're hesitating. You know how people are going to look at me in a wheelchair and stuff like that. Don't even what do the other people think or how they look and all that stuff like affect you. It really shouldn't. Like right. I know it's something that you do have to overcome. It's one of the harder things I think when you first get hurt and then you go out in public the first time, for example. Yeah, it's different. You get a different perspective. You're shorter now, and
right. No, and shorter. Your shoes don't get dirty.
Right.
Which they do.
You got which they actually. That's a misconception.
Yeah.
People always be telling me your shoes ain't gonna get dirty. Actually, my shoes are filthy. All right. Now I might not wear out the soles anymore.
Right.
That's the only positive I got for me. They're good to the bottom, but we're always bumping into crap, aren't we? Like you go out, I'm always scuffing the top of my shoes. It always pisses me off because I'm like, I can wear white shoes.
How's it dirty? How did I get it dirty? You don't even realize. That about the people looking, confidence, man. You know, I'm the tallest man walking in the room.
I was aura farming right now.
Yeah, I'm the tallest man walking in the room, man. Walking in the room.
Yeah,
it's just, but you cannot let other people's own insecurity be implanted into yours, because that'll be a poison and it'll drive you down a hill that you don't want to go down to. And I've been there before. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, but I think every body has certain insecurities, 1 or 2, 3, 10. But for me, it's not that. I can have a regular conversation with a man, and if it ever, God forbid, comes to scrapping, I'll scrap.
I'm ready, bro.
I'll scrap if I have to.
For some business.
Yeah, if I have to, I have to.
Preferably not. But
preferably not. I'll avoid it, but if I gotta do it, I gotta do it.
No, I'm with you.
I think that's one thing that really gets to people as well in the chair. If they start like dating. Lady out and some guy says something to her.
Yeah.
Like, throw a bottle.
Yeah.
Grab a cup. Yeah. Throw it.
No, I get in. I know my wife will probably end up watching this. I get in some trouble for some stuff sometimes too. Listen, bro. Nothing's different.
Yeah, nothing's different.
I'm like, I don't care.
The only thing different is perception. It's point of view.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm just looking at everybody's belly button.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's it.
Get you on my level will be good. No,
yeah.
I'm kidding. But absolutely. So, that was a joke. But yeah, no, that's a good point that you mentioned, and you've been hurt 8 years. I've been 6, so I feel like we've also gone through a lot.
Hey, I'm Dylan from Wheelin with Dylan.
And I'm Leah with the CAFcast. If you're listening to this, you are already part of the conversation, but there's a lot more to explore inside New Motion Medical Supply's Ally program.
And all our podcasts live there too. So if you want to catch past episodes or get the earliest access to new ones, that's where to go.
And the podcast is really just one piece. Inside Ally, there's a full library of articles, webinars, and short videos focused on bladder health, catheter use, and building routines that work for you.
It's also a great place to see how others are navigating things day to day. Real setups, real experiences, and things you might not always hear in a clinical setting.
And a big part of that is the community forum. There are sub-forums for different experiences and stages of life. So whether you're just getting started or have been doing this for years, there's a space for you.
You can ask questions, share what's worked for you, or just read and see how others are handling similar situations. It's a really easy way to connect and not feel like you're figuring everything out all on your own.
And it's simple to access. If you're a New Motion Medical Supplies customer, you can log in with your My New Motion account information and start exploring right away.
It's completely free, and everything's in one place at catheters.newmotion.com/ally.
Head to the Ally program today and join the conversation.
We'll see you there.
We've been able to explore a lot of different things, probably sports, dating, all that good stuff. Is there anything you'd like to express and talk about? Any sports that you've kind of gotten into that you enjoy?
Weightlifting. Now I just started with this guy. I don't know if you know him, John.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, John Marquez. That guy's great, man.
Gotta meet him.
We're doing hand cycles. So he's teaching me how to kind of handle it. It's not, if you ride motorcycles before, it's not hard. But if you don't have that, I don't know. I like that freedom of the wind hitting my face.
Yeah.
So I was trying to speed, and we were going down the road. I was trying to speed with him. It was awesome. Shout out to him. He's great for that. As sports, I don't even watch sports, man. Maybe UFC. I'll watch some fights UFC, but football, basketball, none of that.
I just had the championship last night.
I don't even know. I just heard about it because people were talking about it.
Yeah,
but
I was here.
I don't really. Hard Rock, right?
Yeah.
I don't really get into stuff like that. I like weightlifting.
Okay, cool. So
And now I'm doing it super soft. Now I'm doing it just to maintain, I guess, whatever.
Yeah.
But
now we gotta be careful about hurting ourselves and stuff.
I have no regards for my body.
Yeah, well,
My body. If my mind is strong, my body got to be strong. You have to follow.
no, you're better than me, man. I've gotten into like wheelchair tennis. As anyone who's like listened to this before, I've been getting into that. And it's fun, but like I'll go to the gym and I'll hurt my shoulder, and then I'm like out for a month or two, and I'm like, man, I never go to the gym again because I hate that it held me back from playing tennis. Because I'm just hyper competitive like that.
Right.
I'm like ready to play, and then if I hurt someone, I'm just like, oh man, I should have done that, But and then how about dating life and stuff like that after a spinal cord injury? How have you kind of handled that? And do you have any like pointers and stuff like that for anybody who's kind of thinking about getting back into the game?
Man, that at the very beginning, as a man, it's always going to be rough. As a man, it's always going to create so many questions and so many what ifs. But just like everything in life that's good, just go for it, man. What's the worst that they could say? No? Or I don't know, just walk off on you? Like, I don't know. It doesn't matter. I mean, if you like someone or something, go for it.
Yeah.
You're going to live your life the next day. Let's say you see someone that you want to talk to, but you don't because you're scared, you're in the wheelchair, whatever you might.
Yeah.
If you don't take that shot, it's like, damn, I never knew. Maybe she was into me and I didn't do anything. I just go for it. Yeah. That's my advice. Just go for it and don't be scared, man. Don't be scared of rejection. Come on, we got biggest rejection ever. So
For real. Yeah.
Don't think about it. I mean, again, don't like. Even now, as in my relationship, I still have some insecurities, and it's like, whoa, okay, I gotta balance that out because I can't bring too much of it, but I can't cut them off completely because then I'm just become cold, and it's like, okay, yeah, I don't know, I'm a walking Siri, I guess, like it's not. No, man, I think you have to live your life. You have to experience. This is my motto. It's all about the experience. All right. It doesn't matter what you do. It's all about the experience.
By the way, make sure that we make this the podcast name for this one. It's all about the experience.
It's all about the experience.
I like that.
Yeah.
We're one heck of an experience. And you know what? Having spinal cord injury, I understand. Yeah, there's a lot of things about it that does suck. But dude, you get to meet such cool people. I mean, I met you like not that long ago. Yeah. I feel like we hit off pretty quick. I was like, dude, see, this is what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you just meet kind of like-minded ones, I guess, who also kind of have that drive,
right.
And that confidence, too, and it's fun.
If you notice, man, since you've been in the chair for a while now, the type of people usually like attract.
Like go to each other.
Yeah,
I
man.
know.
We just find each other. We just in the most randomest place, and we're like, yeah, no, we click. We just talk, say 3 words, and we're like, yeah, okay, yeah, no, this is cool. This is cool. But then there's other people that you kind of, I don't know if it happens to you, but you kind of have to like, okay, well, let me help you click. Cause you can't stay there by yourself.
Talking about, I've nicely pushed people.
Yeah, yeah,
Come on,
yeah.
let's
Or meanly,
do this.
you know.
Sometimes I'm pretty mean, you know. Sometimes you gotta be a little rude, but
Sometimes.
you know, if you're cool with them, which
Yeah.
I normally get pretty cool with people pretty quick if I can. I'm like, yeah, you'd be a little bit of a jerk. Like, come on, bro, you gotta do that. Actually, I just had someone on the podcast a week or two ago, and he's actually my one of my closest friends now. When he first got hurt, you know, his brother's pushing him around. And maybe this was too early, but I'm like, come on, bro, push yourself, you know, like.
Right.
And then he saw me transferring and breaking down my chair and stuff like that into a car, and he's like, I want to do that. And so I was there for his first time doing it, and he got the caster stuck under his car. It was so funny. Like, we still joke around about it. But it's awesome because now he's pushing me to do so. He got me into tennis.
Nice.
Years later. So this is just like how it goes. You know, you just kind of push each other to
Hey,
do
one
things.
day you got the energy, one day I got the energy. You know, we
gotta balance each other
Yeah,
out.
man, it has to be, especially if you're boys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got like I have a lot of people I know in wheelchairs. I have some friends in wheelchairs, but most of the people like now the Carolina trip I just had, there's a bunch of walking people, man.
Yeah.
Carry me up down the mountains.
Yeah,
We're
you're-
sliding off mountains and stuff. Nah, it's cool, man. I didn't slide off. I wasn't in the car then.
Thank
but-
God.
Yeah, but it's all about the experience, man. I'm telling you. It's
Yeah.
all about saying, be more open to. I think if you're yes to life, life gives you more possibilities to yes.
Yeah.
Right? If you're no and negative and this and that, just life, you're closing your own doors.
Yeah.
So I've skydived. I rode bikes again. I'm trying to get on a horse. Nobody wants to give me a horse.
So get this man a horse. No one wants to go adaptive horseback riding, and I know it's a thing. I know it's out there.
I've seen it.
Now I gotta go figure it out and look it up. Because
I've
now
seen
I want
it.
you to go do it. Now maybe I'll go with you.
Yeah,
'Cause
we'll
it sounds
do it.
dope. We talked about because my mom actually she grew up on a farm and like rode all these horses. You talk about how great it was.
Dope.
And I'm like, shut up, dude. Like I want to go do it. So we gotta figure that out. There's
gotta do
something, and there's gotta be something in Florida.
It's Florida.
Florida's there. They're like
This-
horses are everywhere.
Even if it's in Texas, I'll fly to Texas.
We're gonna go.
I gotta ride a horse. I want to ride a horse.
We're gonna get Alejandro on a horse.
Definitely.
2026. let's do it. Go fund me here. No, I'm joking. But nah, that's awesome. It's great to meet people like you with an open mind and everything, and also people who are helping others when they first get hurt. Because I think it is hard, and like you made a good point of like sometimes like you're not gonna listen to like a nurse or someone. And the person that helped me the most was a peer support guy. I was in Shepherd's, and he'd been hurt for 15, 20 years, but he was traveling the world practically, playing sports, had a couple girlfriends. And,
Oh.
yeah, I was like, all right, bro. No, over time. And it was just really gave me light at the end of the tunnel.
Okay.
Right? And that's what you are. Like, genuinely. You're light at the end of the tunnel. I've been told sometimes, because in my business, I'm typically going in a patient's room to talk about catheters. That's just the nature of the business. But, like, dude, like, we don't even talk about it right away. Typically.
Right.
It's like, hey, man, like, how you doing? How you feeling? Like, how's therapy going, right? And to be honest, they actually normally bring up the whole bowel bladder thing before I even do, because they're honestly very interested. Wait, hold on, you've been doing this for 6 years? How the heck am I going to do this? Because it's kind of like maybe a little overwhelming at first.
Yeah.
But as you know, it ain't that bad once you get used to it, right?
It's not.
Yeah.
Once you get a good control of it, you gotta, again, like we were talking outside, I like patterns, I like behavior.
Yes.
The body reacts and behaves to patterns, so if you teach it those patterns, it'll accommodate to those patterns. So you going to the bathroom will be so much effortless.
Yeah. And it's easy. It's very important though to get your bowel bladder management under control, because like it can affect your quality of life if you kind of don't got it locked down. If you don't have a good regimen or maybe the right catheter that's working for you. You actually something like that happened with you, right? You had like a normal.
I had the no bag of catheters.
Dude, we're not in the 80s.
I would go to, so I would be, let's say, and FYI, my city of Miami, I'm sorry. I would be in bar
already know where you're
drinking,
going.
and I'll be like, I don't fit in the bathroom, so I wouldn't have a bag. Because if I just don't fit in the stall, it's fine. I
Yeah.
could just be there in the bathroom and pee in the bag.
Yeah.
But since I don't, I'm like, okay, I'm going to the back of the restaurant. I go to the back of the restaurant and just pee there against the wall. I won't say the restaurant, but
There's a couple of
I've marked my spots.
the dogs go by and they know. Yeah,
They're like,
Alejandro's
this
been
is
here.
a different dog.
different kind of dog. Yeah, no, I mean, but then you were introducing to closed system catheters, the ones with the bags, right? So, listen, if the straight cats like work for you, that's great. Like that's the thing that we were talking about. Like everybody's different. So just because I do one thing and you do one thing, it doesn't mean that everybody else like this is the way. Like we all do things differently. We transfer into cars differently. Like I've seen so many different things, but you got to find what works best for you. The cool thing with New Motion Medical Supplies, we offer free samples. So if anybody's kind of like thinking, you know what, maybe that catheter situation is kind of holding me back from maybe going out in public because they're afraid of, kind of doing what you're talking about, going out to some back road alley and
It's all about the experience.
leaving your mark, and stuff like that, which is fine. Like, trust me, I've been there and done stuff like that as well. But if it's holding you back in any way, you want to make sure that you do everything you can to improve your quality of life, and getting your bowel and bladder management under control, I feel like is one of the first steps, to be honest, as a spinal cord injury, because you don't want it to be constantly on your mind. I remember for a long time, all I thought about was, where am I going to go to the bathroom? How am I going to do it? How long is it going to take? And this, all that stuff. I'm happy to say I don't even, think about it too much anymore.
I don't, yeah, man.
Yeah.
I hear my friends, they're like, travel? Where? Let's go.
Yeah. Good.
Let's go.
I mean, you're just in Carolina for a couple days.
Yeah, let's go.
Twice about it.
Now I'm thinking about Colorado. Yeah, I got a couple of plans for this year. So.
Does it have to do with skiing or no?
I want to go. I used to be in Colorado. I used to stay
really?
over there in Colorado, so it was pretty cool. But I don't know about skiing. I've never done it.
Do it.
Yeah?
Do it.
In Colorado?
100%.
They have adaptive?
100%.
I'm
yes.
going. Where?
Go.
Which mountain?
Winter Park.
Winter Park?
Yes.
I'm going.
Go to Winter Park.
Tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. But definitely, I'm
Let's book
going.
the flight tomorrow, though.
I think I'm going on the fall. I think I'm going on somewhere in October. Sometime in October.
October? Okay. I don't know how the whole snow thing works there, like when you gotta go for like skiing. You know better than me if you say you're from Colorado.
No, not from there, but I was around there.
Oh, you were there for a little bit. But bro, I might have said this on the podcast before, but for me personally, it was the most freeing experience I've had since the spinal cord injury, because you're on the slopes and you're just like, you just feel like you have free control. The wind is blowing and you're just on this mountain and you're like, it was fun, man. And they teach you, like, they have an adaptive course thing, and so somebody will be like tethered on the back of you, and then I think you pass these certain steps, and then you can kind of do stuff on your own. Very fun. Like, the only reason I don't do it more is because I'm in Florida.
Right.
Like, I have to, you do, it is a costly thing, you fly and you don't do all this stuff. But if one day, I hope to make it a yearly thing. It's fun.
Yeah, it's
do
cool.
it.
Oh, dude, okay.
It's awesome. So, anyway, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. I don't want to take up too much of the time here, but it was great to meet you, and we love to hear what you're doing with the Miami project. That is so cool. I can only imagine, your situation. You're here in Miami, and now you're able to be a big part of that and really be a big part of people's lives, and helping them along the way. And like you said, you're seeing them along their journey. Maybe one day you're seeing them, and maybe they're kind of depressed. And then maybe a year or two later, they're walking, or maybe not. That's not the key to happiness, as we know, right? They're rolling around, but now they got a girlfriend, they're driving, they're back to work, or they're back to school, right?
Yeah.
So
it always takes your mind out of things.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it was a great time, and we look forward to maybe having you on the pod again another time. Yeah. We always like to have part 2s every once in a while. So
Super.
Next time we're gonna talk about horseback riding, because you're gonna have done it.
Yeah,
all
hopefully.
right. Or maybe talk about Colorado or something.
Yeah,
so we got a lot. Or your schooling.
Yep.
You're a busy man. You got a lot of stuff going on. So
gotta keep the mind busy.
Got to. So we'll follow up with you, and thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you so much.